We are the You Decide team, and we've come to give you the best of analysis, of course, with information and the facts you will need to have an informed opinion. I'm so glad you are here. My name is Shegun Johnson, and I have in the studio with me my usual panelists. Let's start with the man that everybody loves, Otumba Bode Oseni. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Johnson, and good morning to our viewers.
We have our in-house researcher, Nat Yako. Nat, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you.
And of course, well-known analyst of all time, Godson Azu. Godson, you are welcome to this special program.
Thank you very much, my able and worthy doctor and bishop. It's my great pleasure. Fellow Nigerians, I thank you. I hope your bishop is not like the ones in Nigeria.
Well, I love Nigerians. The Nigerians will say, let's drop that matter. Let's just drop that matter. Let's go to the matter at hand. The matter at hand is second lockdown in the United Kingdom. The British Prime Minister spoke to the nation yesterday and said it is really, really imminent that we have a second lockdown without money to follow, without money to give to hospitality industry and try to bring down essentially the hospitality industry. And those ones have responded immediately. Weatherspoon said they will be cutting by about 4,000 staff, and all other well-known restaurants, they say they'll be cutting down immediately. That means more people will go to the job center and be claiming job allowances and all the rest. And so we are having a case of catch-22. Lock us down, there will be more unemployed, and the government will have to look for money and pay for it. And so are we moving forward, or are we moving backward? Or do we have a choice? Do you think the Boris government is getting it right? Or they're just tagging along and saying, why do we have to go through this? The Boris Johnson government, since its inception, has been going through one challenge or the other. Is either Brexit issue or any other issue that you want. And now this COVID is not just going away. Where do we start from? Otumba, you think they're getting it right?
Good morning, everybody. Well, for me, it's like you said, it's a catch-22 thing, and it's not a win. It's not a win-win situation for the government, and we also need to understand that they have so many areas to look after, deal with. There's so many problems. It's a cluster of problem that they have no immediate solution to. And also, there's also this situation that we have to listen to the scientists, the people who knows how to deal best with the problem of COVID-19. And it's not as easy as that, because every move government makes, it costs, it involves a lot of money. And then here also a situation where millions or thousands of jobs are going to be involved, because if you say lockdown means so many things to many people. And if many companies that produce the money we all produces the money we all need to manage everybody, is not working. It's to manage the economy, is not functional, it's not working, and all that kind of. So that's going to be a serious issue for government to manage. I can understand that. So for me, it's a catch-22 thing. It's Boris Johnson, and it's nothing to do with political party now. That could have been any other party. So they will have to balance the situation, juggle how best to go about solving this problem. Like I said, the problem of economy is there, the problem of health is there. Maintaining both at the same time is not going to be easy. Health comes first before economy, because it's only when you are well and kicking that you can go to work. if most of us will end up at the mortuary, there will be less people working. So, and if most of us are now locked down, we need to eat. We need to get medical things. We need to get so many things done. So I do sympathize with the government.
Let me Gossin, you've been the man monitoring the Boris Johnson government, and you are happy about that government. Have they been getting it right, or they are over challenged on this issue of COVID-19?
Thank you very much, Doc. I think every one of us will accept the fact that the present pandemic or corona crisis is unprecedented. It's a new dynamism in the within the international system and the international society as a whole, knowing the factor that in the international system, we talk about the kind of interrelationship between countries or states or nation states and how to resolve issues affecting their internal and external border relations. And when you talk about the society, international society, you look at what is happening globally in terms of relating it to what the pandemic, the COVID pandemic has created. Basically, I would say that Boris and the Conservative Party in government were absolutely caught unaware with this whole situation and weren't seriously prepared to take off this challenge. It kind of slapped them on the face, and struggling to get this through is as an issue of policy agenda, is an issue of following up with the policy implementations. It's about being conscious of the impact and the reactionary effect of social disconstruct and economic impediment that this whole situation is causing. And Boris has been trying as much as he can with his advisors, the health minister.
Now that you have brought it to international one, do you think they are doing as well as Germany?
Well, in terms of performance rate in regards to country ability to manage the situation of COVID, Britain is not in close comparison to what Germany is doing at the moment. The Germans are, to be honest, more technologically and more coherent in terms of what they want to do.
What would be the reason? What would be the reason? Why will Germany, with a bigger population, be getting it right and we are not getting it right?
I mean, you have in Germany, you have a consistent government. You have a government that have been in power for over 15 years now, and the government kind of understands the way the people behave and think and what is relatively concerning the people. And the government has a very strong developmental plan and progress. And you can understand that Germany is the backbone of Europe. If anything happens to Germany economically, Europe is gone. Europe is completely gone. We go back to the Westphalian.
So that's why they're getting it right.
So they have to get it right. The Christian Democratic Party and Anglo-Marco has to.
But the Conservative Party has been in power for the past 10 years here now. I mean,
you are right. The Conservative Party has been in power for 10 years, but with different prime ministers, with different concepts, with different ideology.
Same ideology, the same continuity, party continuity.
Well, not really. I mean, every prime minister has come with his own way, style of governance. The central party ideology remains consistent, but the prime ministers have come with the management skills that are different from each other. The management skill, the political will to manage the society in different forms and styles. That's why most policies are like incoherent in the way they are implemented from one minister to another.
I will come back to you. Let me ask Nat. Nat, COVID-19 has moved away from bodily attack to economic attack to employment attack to family attack. And it encompasses all of our social life, our lifestyle, and people are no longer even talking of the sickness of the virus anymore. They're talking about how their social lifestyle have been impacted. To what extent is that really affecting the government not to offend the people who may revolt, who may refuse to accept, even if they brought all the slaps of 100,000 pounds if you don't do this, if you don't do that. So what effect do you think that is even helping the virus?
I think instead of shifting focus from COVID and going to economics, I still believe that health is wealth, and if you don't have the health, there is nothing else you'll be able to do. You cannot be productive. And then we talk of the leadership style and the governance itself, and above all, self-discipline, which I think has been lacking in the British society. You see, because right from the onset, when the issue of COVID-19 came into the UK space or the British space, I think the government did not take the issue of COVID very, very seriously. And then you have majority of the people, especially the youth, not really taking this issue seriously. And when the protocols were introduced, nobody was even obeying the protocol. Few were doing, but most people were not doing. And exercising, almost the belief that COVID was not here. And we have seen the effect when we started relaxing the protocols. The COVID just said, I'm still around, I have not gone. And then we are now faced with the issue of COVID is like a runaway train or runaway bus. Yeah, because nobody seems to be able to arrest or control it. And we're all talking. The scientists have failed, medical sciences have failed because areas, in some countries or continents when they don't have these facilities, they are doing well with managing COVID. And so the issue now is going to be—
What question for you, Nat?
Yes.
The Prime Minister yesterday said we may be in a lockdown in the next 6 months. How do you think that will sit down with the people, Christmas time, New Year's time? You think we can handle it?
Well, again, the Prime Minister is being very inconsistent. He's somersaulting his policies. He had told the British people that by end of November, you don't need to wear a mask again. Christmas was assured for the people. People have started buying turkey for Christmas.
Oh,
so
come on.
You can't come around and say till the next 6 months. I think the Tory government is heading to a downfall. These are some of the indications, early warning signs, which Boris didn't take seriously. And the people didn't take the signal seriously. And I think the important message that should be going out now is self-discipline, personal hygiene. Because for now, that seems to be the panacea for containing COVID. Anything outside that, and you know my formula of DREAM.
Quickly remind us.
Okay, DREAM, D is for diet. What are we been eating? Is it junk or food that is healthy to our system? I will be having enough rest, which is R.
Okay, what is R?
R is rest, enough rest. 7 hours, 8 hours for adults, and more hours for even the children. And then the E is exercise.
Okay.
Johnson has now got a personal trainer to train him to exercise. How are the other people? Gyms are closed. and people are still
No, gyms are open now. A is for what?
A is for alternative therapy. That is, go close to nature, because that is where you come from and that's where you go back to.
Ginger, garlic, lemon, and those stuff.
Yes.
And what is M?
M is personal motivation. Motivation. You have to self-motivate yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nat. Otumba, I've been following what is going on in Africa. People, especially the World Health Organization, have predicted that we'll be carrying bodies on the streets of Lagos and Abuja and Kenya, Nairobi, and all the rest. It has not happened. It's not going to happen. Less than 6,000 people have died in a continent of over 1.5 billion people. Yet, over 200,000 have died in a well-established, westernized, highly sophisticated country of the United States of America. What is it that Africa is getting right and the Western world is getting wrong?
Thank you. I think it is clear also, if I say this is authoritatively, that what COVID-19 did not know about us, there are so many things he didn't know anything about. He doesn't know about us. Let me start by the preventive attitude or culture of Africans, especially. Let me stay with Nigeria. Okay. Our food, what we take in is anti-COVID. COVID cannot get, because 99%.
Is that pepper soup or what?
Yes, 99% of what we eat in Africa is pepperized. It's like it has a 90-something% of pepperish, and I'm told that COVID doesn't like anything that is pepperish, like atari, atakupa, and all that kind of thing we eat. So we eat in a way. I think Africans or Nigerians, we eat healthily. I mean, we might be poor, but when it comes to even the slum, if soup is prepared at foriru and all that kind of thing, is full of anything that COVID doesn't like. And understand that COVID will want to try to get inside you. But when it's already prevented to come inside you, it has no chance. So, and joke apart, and I think these are little things that WHO will never know about our culture. They do not take into that consideration. So many of our people, I mean, they don't know that we and you know, the fight of a poor person, he fights harder than the one who is rich.
But
so he do everything.
There is no social distancing in, let's take Nigeria, for example. I've not seen social distancing in markets, in public places, especially when they are doing their funerals. You see 10,000 people robbing one another, and they are not dying.
That's what I'm saying. Don't forget.
It's just like there is something that we need to know.
Yeah, Dr. Johnson, don't forget that it's also, I don't know what the English word, Ajara is already what you're already taking inside. It's already inside you.
Body immunity.
Yeah, body immunity. Yeah. So most of our people, like I said, really joke apart, we're already fortified. Many Africans, Nigerians especially, we are fortified from what we eat. Yeah, even though we are very extremely poor.
Let me take that question to Asdu. Godson, Africans, they tend to overcome COVID without doing much like the Western world. The Western governments, every day, their prime ministers, presidents are coming out and they are still not getting it. But the Africans, like Otumba said, they have body immunity that appears to be fighting COVID. Is it because of malaria? We have anti-malaria parasites already, or what? What is it that Africa is doing well? I mean, for once, they're beating the Western world, and we don't know what.
Well, it's a mystery, in as much as many of us are still wondering the mystery of creation and the mystery of the beginning and the mystery of the end. So also are certain issues now, obviously, proving some of these mysteries in real time. I feel that this is just an open window for many people to understand the divide of society between the developed world and the underdeveloped world. and how certain elements of human creation can prove the inner disconscience of many people who have the power and the will to produce certain things in order to keep their developed society moving on, and the undeveloped society enslaved to reality of social order. And that is the case. I believe that the people who created COVID created it without knowing that the fatality would be more in the developed world than the undeveloped world, because it was developed for them to be able to continue to oppress and suppress the undeveloped societies across Africa, Asia, and the Pacific, and even North America. Fortunately, this is gone beyond them. It's gone beyond the SARS. It's gone beyond the Ebola. It has gone beyond AIDS, HIV agenda. It has killed more in Western world than he has killed anywhere else around the world, which kind of disprove the scientific, theoretical, or conspiracy theories of certain developed world operators around the world. And it's very good. This shows that Africa as a continent, understand the fact that Africa is not only about the Black Africa. We have the Arab Africans who, in reality, I'm not sure they have recorded up to 2,000 deaths in any of the Arab countries in Africa. And talk of the Black African countries in Africa. So it just goes to show that if Africa is developed to the standard that we have in part of Europe, in continental Europe, so to say, and in America, I tell you, no continent will be able to withstand the force of the economic and the social force of African countries in Africa. But unfortunately, this goes to show that Africans can withstand any form of disasters, whether it be natural disaster.
I agree with you, because when Ebola came out, the Nigerian people and the Nigerian government handled it in a way we have never seen before. They did it clinically so well that the American government had to send people to Nigeria, their experts to Nigeria, to go and learn how to handle Ebola. And so it's not our first time of handling this thing. I don't know, somebody said Nigerians don't have any other means but to handle their affairs very well. I wish they can put that into every other area of their life.
You know, the fact remains, like Otoba said, we especially in Nigeria and Ghana and some other few other countries in Africa, rely so much on our trado medicines. A lot of people are living longer and stronger in Nigeria, not because of the Western medicine, but because of the trado medicine. We call them native doctors, but these native doctors do wonders. They
call them herbalists.
The herbalists, they use herbs and roots to produce medicine. Where everybody goes, even now, they sell agbo, they sell oguro in a dusty market. You go there, they sell the thing to you. All you need is to go and buy shinap or buy what do they call it, gin. Go and get gin and pour inside of it and then shake it and keep it for 2 days. Start drinking it. Everything COVID will be disappearing. Will be running away from you.
Okay, we will leave COVID issue now. Of course, people are free to, if you are in the Zoom and you want to participate, all you need to do is raise up your hand electronically and we'll be able to allow you to participate, bring your views, and if people can call in, those of you who are watching at home and you want to call in, I'm sure the studio will be able to accommodate you. Let's go to what happened in Nigeria last Saturday. We saw a governor who won in 2016 under the APC, and he swapped party and won again in under PDP in 2020. How that will have happened in other places, I don't know. But in Nigeria, all things are possible. Nat, please bring us up to date about Obaseki re-election. What we quickly need to know, because I know many people will want to hear different opinions and the way forward for Edo State and indeed Nigeria. Nat. Nat, unmute.
Sorry about that. Let me continue from where Dr. Johnson stopped. The APC candidate contested for elections on 2 different party platforms in the last 4 years, and he lost his deposit. He was candidate of the APC, of the PDP in 2016. He lost to the same Obaseki. He crossed over to APC. He lost to same Obaseki. And we have also a similar issue in Benue State. Governor Samuel Otom left APC and went to PDP, and he won his elections. The Edo case is more of those who believe in miracles, is more of a miracle. Yes, it's a miracle, because even Nasru Yarifai has confirmed that it's a miracle, because APC 2 weeks ago, or even 3 weeks, they were already celebrating that they have won Edo State, but they were just waiting for a joker, which came on Saturday, 19th September 20.
What was the joker?
The joker was that Obaseki, the underdog, became the lion and the tiger. Meanwhile,
okay. Nat, please, sorry to cut you. Tell us, why did the 15 PDP governors expected to come did not show up and give Ize Yamu support? Was there, what was underlying that? Because normally all the governors will come and support any governorship candidate. What happened?
But they sent their first 11 in the form of General Wike, the governor of Rivers State.
No, I'm talking of APC.
Oh, APC.
Yes.
No, the APC governors were supporting Obaseki, even in PDP. The Ekiti State governors is under serious challenge now that he supported Obaseki.
But he's the chairman of a governor's forum, so who can challenge him?
No, the party can challenge him for anti-party activities.
Yeah. But it wasn't the only one. About many of their governors did not. We were told that they contributed money.
Yeah, because the genesis was that their former national chairman drove out Obaseki from APC, and the progressive governors were not happy, and they told him, apart from removing him from chairmanship of national chairman of APC, they will follow him to his local government. And they followed him to Edo State to make sure that his candidate, Ize Yamu, did not win the election.
I will come back to you, because these are preliminary discussions. Otumba, how did you view the Edo State election and the result? Was it free and fair? And APC has congratulated Obaseki, at least APC Central. What will you say?
Thank you. Like one writer said, yes. Thank you. Like one writer said, the result is not final until when the Supreme Court casts its own vote. So, having said that, I welcome the result. I also welcome the participation of the electorate. It gives me a ray of hope that at least when people have freedom and they are free to exercise their rights, they can decide, they can choose what they want. Even though, having said that, none of the parties can be said to be free of buying votes. They all pay. It looks like, but what is key? What I think is the deciding factor in the Edo State election is they have a choice, like Nigeria have a choice in 2014, 2015. Whom do you want to pick? And the thing is, the electorate know both of them. Both of them are son of the soil. So they know them very well. They know, even though what they may not know is the underlying factors of Obaseki and Yamu in terms of all their deeds in the past. So, but as far as they are concerned, they think Obaseki is a better person they can do business with than Yamu. So they chose to cast their vote en masse, for the win of the. And so that gives me joy that at least the people eventually decided for a party they believe. I mean, I think they voted for the person, not the party.
Otuba, if you agree that
yes,
the people have spoken, why will you be happy that the Supreme Court could truncate what the people have said? Will that be a judicial thing? Would that be a good thing?
Dr. Johnson, unless we want to start running away from the fact that we have this both empirical and historical reason to believe that there's no election that is final from two major contestants. Each one of them will say, but this time around, the only difference is APC candidate said, "Oh, we are." Let me swallow these knockouts, and then I'll come to tell you what I want to do thereafter. So, and from experience also, we have also have a catalog of elections that has been reversed, even from far behind. Imo is in our mind, and some other places also that we know that after the election has been fought through the normal process, courts or Supreme Court have reversed it. So
yeah,
when I say that, I'm not naive of what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're just saying that we should move away where the judges should determine and not the people. That's what I'm just saying too. Well, but of course we have empirical.
Dr. Johnson, that would depend on the party and the candidate. If they still have enough money to throw around, if APC want to challenge the result, they have the right to challenge the result. And what the result is going to be, what the judicial, the judges or the Supreme Court eventually going to decide. You and I, we don't know how they're going to judge.
Okay, all right. We will be watching that. Godson, the Edo people said specifically, Edo not be Lagos. Tinubu, don't put your mouth into our business. Will you want to assess what Tinubu did, saying that he's a Democrat? Obaseki was not a Democrat, and people of Edo should not vote for him, and they gave it right to his face and slapped him on the face by voting 80,000, actually 84,000 votes more than Ize Yamu, 24,000 more than when Ushiomole supported Obaseki in 2016. Will that reduce Tinubu's appearance in the Nigerian politics?
Yeah, thank you very much, Doc. I think the situation that unfolded itself at the Edo concluded election last weekend is a new face to the way our political game will be unfolding in the near future at the political playing field. And this I impaired by saying that the spirit of negative principles of godfatherism is going to be a thing of foregone alternative in Nigerian politics in the next couple of years to come. For sure, we know that there is two forms of godfatherism globally. There is the mafioso godfatherism, and that is the Christianity godfatherism. The mafioso godfatherism are those who behave like Neto of Italy. What's his name again? General, what's his name? The former head of the Spanish government in the 60s. These are like, and the Hitlers are the mafioso godfatherisms who believe that they stand the order of the day and rule the people by force. And we have the Christian fatherism, which is the principle of moral construct. When you give birth to a child, and then you go for the naming ceremony, you look for somebody that is closer to the family, that has a very strong moral principles, that is a very strong role model in the society, in the community, and you make that person the godfather of your son or the godmother of your daughter. And they kind of help to watch after the growth of your child to ensure that it doesn't go astray completely. If if the natural parents are not able to control the child, the godfather, godmothers will come in and ensure by that. Godfather became a kind of a legitimate way of managing children upbringing in mostly African societies, and so many other Western countries also who stood in with this, even in Britain. So what I'm trying to say here is that Tinubu and Oshimole's mafioso godfatherism has gradually come to an end. And basically, we are going to be having a new front or new emerging individuals who will take the place of their political
emancipation
in the country. I believe that Edo has shown the way. The next step will be a Ondo, and the senatorial election in Lagos East. I think it's Lagos East senatorial, Ikorodu area and a part of Ekpa area.
I don't believe that of Lagos will show anything, because Lagos is in the firm hands of Tinubu. I can't see any other party beat APC in Lagos. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I think with the new dimension of things coming up now, I think Tinubu has gone back. See, the war in APC, why the 15 governors in APC did not go to support Ezi Iyamu is because of Tinubu, basically. Irrespective of the fact
I'm coming back to you.
Irrespective of the fact that Oshimole
hold on.
Was there.
I will come back to you in a second. Mr. Wale Kalejaye has been raising up his hand. I don't want him to think I'm ignoring him. I want to bring him in and let us hear his thoughts. Then I'll come back to you, Godsi. Yes, Mr. Kalejaye.
Oh, yes. Good morning, everybody. Dr. Johnson, good morning. It's been a good discussion, and I'd like to just commend the previous speakers for their contributions. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the people of Edo State for speaking out through their voters' cards. Now we have a new paradigm in our political space, which I'd like us to focus on. You see, the myth that my friend just spoke about Lagos, for instance, is actually oblivious. We need to now focus on one reality, which is the era of godfatherism is coming to an end. Even in Lagos, I would not be surprised if an election is held today and APC loses.
Wow.
Yes, and I will tell you the compelling reasons. Now, we are at a very critical point in our country where all the odds are against APC. Hello, am I still on?
Yeah, you are on. Studio, can you please remove any other audio? Thank you. Hold on, Mr. Kalejaye.
Okay.
Studio. Okay, carry on, sir.
Yes. What I was saying is that all the odds are actually against APC as we speak. Economy is in shambles. There is COVID. Government is focusing on taxes rather than build economy on investment and encouraging projects and encouraging investors to bring in more businesses. You see, it's only a lazy government that will be focusing on taxing the people, because what this government has been doing is to tax the same people in several forms. So the people are actually unhappy. What you saw in Edo State is an expression of the people's mindset. And if care is not taken, the same will likely happen in Ondo State next week. And it will happen in other states because people just want something different. If you see what I mean. This is the only time that we are having a government that will tax you on COT. They will tax you to deposit money. They will charge you to withdraw your own money. You pay ATM transfer fees. You pay, it's just getting too much. Rather than focus on investment-driven economy. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The same, you see, the same cow is being milked from several angles. So people are actually rejecting it.
Okay, this is very, very important. Let me get back to Godson, then I will come back to you for a projection into 2023.
Okay.
Because what has happened last Saturday, we could project, that is the essence of social science, so that we could predict from the existing facts. But hold your thoughts, and let me get back to Godson. Godson, you've been listening to Mr. Kalejaye, and we now want to project to 2023 from what happened. The only place I will disagree with Mr. Kalejaye is that from what I know, there is no opposition party in Lagos State. So even if the people are not happy with APC, there's nothing they can do. PDP is non-existent, but the judge is not a good factor for them. So there's no, Jimmy Agbaje is under his guilt. So the Lagos State is still under the hands of APC, no matter what kind of government.
In as much as that's the general perception, I have been a little bit active in Lagos politics. And what I would say is that over the years, PDP have been very lazy in Lagos State.
That's the word.
They have been lazy, yes. Let me come back to that because I have some analysis I'd like to present
I will come back to you. I'll come back to you in a moment. Godson, you want to finish?
Yeah, like I said, and I think just like what Mr. Kalejaye is saying, the social revolution through the actions of the people is an emerging process, is an emerging order that has started now with Edo State. One key principle I always let people understand, from my understanding of politics, is the phrase well known with one of the greatest political philosophers of old, Plato. He says that politics, political life is life in the polite. There is no politics without the people. The people are the politics that we play. And if the people begin to understand that they are the politics of the day, things will begin to unfold in a way that the people begin to take control. Just like what is happening in the fifth wave of democracy across North Africa, in Tunisia, Egypt, and the rest of them. People took over the way governance should be run. So it has happened in Edo State. And like I said, Tinubu has gone back to Bodilon Road to recheck his bullion vans and do a reflective session with himself to see, does he still have the anchor to hold on to his godfatherism system in Lagos State? It is not going to be so easy for him again moving forward. Because if you listen to what the PDP agenda is now for the Lagos State South, is it Lagos West or Lagos East senatorial? They are mobilizing seriously now. Remember, Wike brought what makes Rivers State different from other states to Edo State. All the Agberos in Benin were well checked up. It wasn't the police from Adamawa and Zamfara that did the job. There were people who came and checkmate their fellow gangsters. It takes a gangster to checkmate a gangster, not police. Police can't checkmate gangster. It takes a gangster to knock down a gangster in any area of territorial order. Even in the UK, yeah. If you go to Peckham and you say you're a gangster, another gangster from Croydon will come and checkmate you and keep you silent for a while. So it takes. So the Wike have told Tinubu, be ready. We are coming to Lagos State senatorial election. Obaseki has said he has given his life to it. The gangsters in Lagos State will be checkmate. Olumo will be running. I'm not sure he will have anywhere to go. Last time he went to America to do surgery to survive. This time he will have no America to go. By the time they launch the gangster agenda in Lagos State, which is what is keeping Doctor. Lagos State is surviving under APC to date from 1999 because of Tinubu gangster agenda. He mobilized all the allies, all the Agberos from Alimosho, from Lagos Island, from Munshi, and he controls them. He feeds them like fat cows. And these guys unleash. There is no election that is won by real election in Lagos State, and people know that. And because people are not confident enough, are not bold enough to raise similar gangsters and checkmate Tinubu's gangster in Lagos State and keep them silent. The moment they keep Tinubu gangster silent, like they kept Oshimole's gangster silence in Edo State, Tinubu will collapse. The day he knows that his gangsters will not function anymore, there is a new order. There is a new emerging gangster in Lagos.
Gostin is okay. Gostin is okay. I would have loved to agree with you, but when in the other election there were 9 PDP state assemblymen, they all decamped except one to APC when they started their job. Within 4 years, all the 9 fizzled out. They became APC men. That was, I mean, the Lagos State people voted for them.
Doctor, these are what we keep saying is the gangsterisms of Tinubu's mafioso agenda in Lagos State. You either join, or you'll be killed, or kicked out, or disgraced. So it's the fear of the unknown political structure that an individual jumps into, and then by the time you realize that you are in a keg of war, you have no choice but to submit.
Okay.
So, but now, like I said, there is going to be a new emerging. I hope and I believe, like Kale Jaye said, I hope and I believe that the lives of Badamosi, Rashid Badamosi, or is it Rashid or whatever his name is?
Yeah,
Badamosi, GOG, and some of these lazy people in the opposition party in Lagos State will wake up and stop selling their birthright for
Let me allow other people. Before I call on Mr. Kale Jaye again, let me ask quickly the views of Otumba Bode Oseni and Nat. Then we can go back to Mr. Kale Jaye. Otumba, are you still with us? Otumba?
Yes, I'm still.
You'll be hearing views about because this thing has now shifted to Lagos because of Tinubu, unprecedented way to come out openly to support Ize-Iyamu. And in fact, he did not particularly support Ize-Iyamu. He particularly opposed Obaseki, saying that he was not a Democrat, and of course, Tinubu was a Democrat. I mean, he came out to oppose him. Many people have said that was tactless on his part, but then he has managed to allow the Edo election reprisal to come to Lagos State. I don't share many views that my colleagues here are saying, because I can't see any opposition, but our brother Wale is going to say something about that. So what's your view? Do you think this is like someone said tactfully in channels, he said this is the end of the beginning? What will you say to Tinubu's future, especially 2023?
Thank you. Let me start with the idea of going on national television, even though it was his own idea, it was a sponsored broadcast. And I would never have supported the idea if I had to be closer to him and say, you cannot do this. And I'm sure it all happened because he's an able advisor and private secretary had gone to another journey. You know, he's I think with the new crop of advisor he has, they're not doing a good job. They should have never allowed him to go on that's national broadcast condemning or seeing anything like that. I've never seen. It's not common. I've never seen in many places of my life. But then that's fine. It's another thing if he wants to accept that that was a wrong tactic, that was a wrong move, that he made a mistake. That will be his personal assessment. He will have to deal with that. Having said that, I want to take another position from what my other colleagues are saying here. We should also not forget that we are yet to evolve or develop a proper, qualified, educated, well-informed, understanding electrics. The yardsticks electric all over Nigeria use is who gives them bread and butter. That is why that is still possible, and that is also why they are still ready to sell their votes. So, and it's only in Nigeria you see that 2 or 3 days before the election day, people will queue up to be getting money from the
Ankara money.
And then they did it in Oshun. It's done all over the place, and I think it's very sad.
It's a shame,
and we as political pundits, we cannot ignore that. That is not a good sign. It's not good for our democracy. It's
okay,
not good
I'm going to ask you one question before I go to Nat. Otumba, having seen what Tinubu did, came out to oppose Obaseki, and it was a slap, and the slogan, "Do not be Lagos come." Do you think when it is 2023 APC selection of the presidential candidate, the northern elements within APC will say, look, we cannot really rely on Tinubu to deliver the Nigerian votes. If he cannot deliver small Edo is less than 4 million people. He cannot deliver that one. Why should we give him the ticket? Don't you think it may cause some new thinking within APC, especially from the CPC?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, another thing, in my own humble opinion, is these politicians, especially those of them who have been in the business of Rofo, Jaga Jaga, and all that kind of thing, they know what they are doing, because you'll be shocked. I'm not campaigning for anybody, and I'm not speaking for anybody. Like I just said, our electorates, they're not informed enough. They're not educated enough. They don't know. As far as they are concerned, is the Ankara and the Naira to go and sew it, or to cook pepper soup and all that kind of thing. That is important to them. So if the amount of money that is spent in those states, or the amount of mistake anybody will have made, there's still plenty of room for these electorates who are very, very gullible and naive to correct it for them. I mean, if they give them 4,000 in Edo State and somebody go to them and say, this is 10,000 naira, they will change their mind. And that will be based on the level of education of the electorates. So we need to also put that into consideration. But before I go, I'm very happy that at least there's element of involvement, because this is a kind of a maturity for democracy, that at least it's now how to send messages to those who are struggling to want to come and be the third force. The way things are going now, and I pray that the two political parties, followers, and think tank people behind them should continue to develop the party, the ideology, and some other things that will enhance good political parties in Nigeria, like in Democrats and Republican America. So that is also established now, that third force probably will not have chance to come into Nigerian politics so soon.
Right. Thank you. Nat, what will you say the future of Tinubu, having seen this one? I mean, we really want to see, he's always been a juggernaut in the Nigerian politics since 1999. But that move showed that do not be Lagos. will the APC itself not tell him in 2023, having lost the Edo and definitely in Ondo, will APC not say, look, we are having a rethink? What do you say?
Well, the gubernatorial elections in Edo State on the 19th of September, the starting point for 2023, because the APC governors removed Adams Ashomole as national chairman of APC, and he was installed by Tinubu. Adams Ashomole moves to Edo State, his state. Tinubu followed him. Again, the APC governors gave victory to PDP. The same people, God sparing their lives, will be around up to 2023. And they are going to determine who even gets the APC ticket. Tinubu can get the APC ticket, but like they did to Jonathan in 2015, they will collect all his money. Like Okumbo, Captain Kumbo said he will spend his last kobo to ensure that Obaseki loses the election. We thank God he had congratulated Obaseki. He didn't have to spend his last kobo. So let Tinubu spend his last kobo between now and 2023. Let him even get the ticket, but on the voting day, they are going to vote for any other party apart from APC.
Wow, that is serious. I know that I've promised Mr. Kalejaye, but Dr. Akindele is on the line before we come to Dr. Kalejaye. Dr. Akindele, what have you to say?
Guys, I think we don't learn. We make this into personal issue of Jagaba. This is not Jagaba here. There was a division in the Edo State. It's APC man who won, masquerading as PDP. I won't be surprised if this man go back to his party as soon as possible, because he's a progressive man. So all these things about PDP now is going to win this, they did the same thing. We don't seem to remember our political history. The same thing happened before Goodluck lost in 2015, where PDP was winning everywhere. Ondo State was winning that. They say, oh, yeah, we're going to win. That does not mean that. It just says whenever the party is divided, they can suffer fate, this sort of fate. That's all it is. Edo and Lagos and Ondo states are not Edo states. So bear that in mind. That is not going to repeat itself there, because APC, where they're united, there's no way PDP will win it. And the result of Edo is not for PDP, it's for Obaseki. And Obaseki is still an APC man, regardless of what flag is flying. So don't let us confuse ourselves. We are celebrating too quickly. It's not the era of federalism hasn't gone. Even if it seems like he has gone in Endo, he hasn't. He has shifted probably from Oshiomhole to Wike. That's all it is. So let's bear that in mind.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Kalejaye, I think that's a challenge to you. You heard Dr. Akindele clearly that the shift is not a eraser of godfatherism. The shift is just from Oshiomhole, it's from Aneni to Oshiomhole, to Mr. Kalejaye, they said Lagos not be Edo, Lagos not be Edo. What have you to say?
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Akindele, I actually don't agree with you. First of all, Wike is in PDP, not APC. So leadership cannot go from Oshiomhole to Wike. That's totally incorrect. Now, what happened last Saturday? You see, shortly after Jagaban's video, in as much as I don't want to personalize this matter, he actually campaigned for PDP. by, championing himself as the leader of democracy. I mean, there was so much arrogance in that speech. If you watch that video, you see, when you want to campaign, please, you extol the values of
But Mr.
your
Jage,
candidate.
he's an APC leader. He's not going to campaign for PDP. So
No,
he has to support his own
wait,
party,
sorry.
regardless of how he feels.
I'm speaking metaphorically. Now, what he did by claiming to be the champion for democracy, he has fought for this democracy, who is Obaseki and all that. You see, people should get one thing very clear. This democracy we're all enjoying today, who fought for it? Who are the gladiators? Abiola paid the supreme price. Okay? Now, the question has been asked often, and nobody has answered this. Jagaban is claiming to be the winner of democracy and all that. How many of Abiola's siblings has he empowered in his 8 years as governor of Lagos State? Please answer me, Mr. Akindele, Dr. Akindele.
Empower. Maybe
MKO
offerings are not interested in politics. You
No,
don't know.
no,
I don't know them. I'm not in politics.
No,
but that's not. It shouldn't be. That's not what we. We shouldn't be personalized.
We are building a background. You see, when you come out and claim glory about a struggle, there are others who have also struggled.
I think he made a mistake on that. He shouldn't have been saying that. Yeah. I agree with
so
you.
we agree on that.
But
yes. Now, that's fine. So I'll leave that point. Now, secondly, you see, when you compare Edo State, Edo was a PDP stronghold originally. You agree?
Yeah.
Now, when that tsunami happened in 2015 and everything went, you see, the moment PDP allowed Amechi, Kanu, and some other governors leave at the same time. You see, the moment the fight in PDP started and 6 governors quitted the party at the same time, that was the beginning of the crack. And I knew there was no way APC would not win, because you allow 6 governors of most of your strongest.
The same thing happened in Edo. That's exactly what happened in Edo.
Now,
made a big mistake.
I'm telling you now, the same thing is the repertoire of that. APC have lost 7 states to PDP. Now, and more will
by
still
court
fall.
judgment, court judgment.
Yeah, you see, the court issue is something else entirely. And reason is this: we should separate judiciary from our politics. But unfortunately, the judiciary have been playing so much role in politics by giving very, very spurious injunctions, and
it's not their fault. Our politicians.
No, it is. It is their fault.
No,
you are meant to be above board as a judge. You should not let the politicians sweep you off your feet.
Okay,
politicians come and go.
Kalejaye, let me bring the topic back to Lagos. We have this senatorial
This Lagos really interesting,
and
yes.
And we want what I will want to see in every state, indeed in the whole of Nigeria, is a good opposition. Like right now, we have in United States, we have here. We want a good opposition to be telling us the alternative to governance that
exactly
the incumbent is not doing, so that they would then synthesize all the good points. But we are not seeing that one in Lagos State, at least.
Okay, now that has actually started. Maybe you're not aware. For the first time, a new chairman for PDP in Lagos has emerged, a much younger person, dynamic and very agile. Now, the Lagos State problem in the past had been infiltration from APC. How can a party feature the same person 3 times serially and he's lost the 3 times? What does that tell you? He is not working for PDP. Simple. So now I think PDP have realized this now, and they are putting all these guys into the backbench. People like Bode George and co, they are now taking the back seat, and they have to, if they have to win Lagos State. Now, secondly, PDP have been very lazy in Lagos. They will all come out when it's 1 year to election and start campaigning. Now, rumors have had it that Jagaban even sponsors some of the PDP guys. Those are rumors that we have had. But now, people have now seen that the myth is now becoming, it's not true anymore, that this man will actually unshield him. So what I'm saying in essence is that PDP in Lagos have now regrouped and they are bringing younger guys now. And I can bet you they will not feature any of those failed guys next election.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. This is a very hot topic, and we really want to see if we can forge a good future for Nigerian politics. There's nothing, we cannot run away from politics. And we will be mentioning names because names have come to be part of politics. We are all political animals. We know that one. So if we are mentioning names, we are just trying to be very, very factual. Many people have raised up their hands, and I'm going to start from Otumba. Otumba, you've been hearing this one. Bear in mind, whatever you are going to contribute, how do we improve our politics to affect our development, economy? You see, when we just talk at the political arena without thinking of what will be good for the people of Edo, how about their roads, how about their schools, how about I mean, let's extend politics to blessings or benefits, like they normally say, so that we can move forward. Otumba.
Yeah, thank you. I think the starting point is to invest massively on the people, on the electorate, to at least get them to a position of knowing what their rights are and when to ask for it and when not to talk about anything, and let the politician do the rest. As long as we still have this a large number of docile electorates that they don't know what they want or what they care for now, is immediate bread and butter business. As long as we have that, the chances of moving forward is to me is very, very slim, because like I was saying before, we still have a situation that millions of our people are permanently kept in a situation where every time they can buy, purchase, they can double the paying for their votes, and they're there to oblige the politicians. So as long as we have that, development will be very we cannot be achieved, because here we have a situation where the politicians, the people that are supposed to govern, are doing whatever they want, because they know the people are not complaining, the people are not saying anything. So they take advantage of the weak electorates, the weakness of the people. They take it for granted. So they don't really care. They don't really care about the people. It's only in Nigeria I've only come across that people will take contracts of billions of naira or dollars or whatever, and they will not do anything, and they will still get away with it. And even the agencies, the institutions that are supposed to correct these anomalies, they're already also involved in all this corruption and so on and so. Just we are talking about judiciary. You tell me, unless otherwise it favors you, most of the time, judiciary, they are even more corrupt than other arms of. I mean, that is the truth. I mean, I'm also in the legal business, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's also on the record that most of them have been challenged. Some of them have been removed on corrupt practices and so on and so forth. But let me quickly address what Mr. Kalejaye was also saying. Yeah, he's making a lot of points, and I do agree that as a public observer and commentator, I do not subscribe my allegiance to any of the political parties. But what I subscribe to is good governance. And if really and honestly, there's a new leader of PDP, but then again, a new leader of PDP, what difference is it going to make if the people that he wants to bring, you want to win to your side, are not informed? They are still waiting for the next election to be given 4,000, 5,000 naira and vote stupidly. So these are issues, and I think we are putting the horse before the cart. I mean, yeah, yes, I mean,
or the cart before the horse.
The cart before the horse. So I think political parties, especially people like Kalejaye and his followers, should be starting educating the people. You see, because once the people are liberated, once the people know exactly what they want, they can decide for your ideology. They can decide for a party they believe is the correct party. But alas, 99% of Nigerian politicians are all about what they want to make out of the people, what they want to make out of the booty or the bounty of the country. They're not going to politics to eradicate or to stop poverty and so on and so forth. Here we have an average politicians having everything they want.
I'm watching the time as well, and many people are raising up their hands. Godson, I'll take Godson, then Mr. Peter Okina. Then we go to another topic which is very hot in Nigeria. Yes, Godson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doc. I do agree with some points made by Otuba and then Kalejaye, and also I appreciate the fact that Dr. Kindele also made his view clear. But the fact here, moving forward, Nigeria should move very, very speedy in terms of gaining grounds in its emerging democratic transition. Like you said, we need to get our politicians to be more constructive moving forward. The emerging young politicians to become more constructive. If we're going to take over from all these years of endemic political death trap by our ancient and modern politicians that we have at this moment, we need to be constructive. And being constructive is aligning to some certain agreed and standardized or globally recognized political ideological strands. You see, we cannot have parties that symbolizes certain political framework, but those who run the party do not believe in those political ideological framework, rather are running the party individualistically on their own sense of belonging. PDP should be able to model itself as it was constructed and developed to be from 1998 to date as a conservative political institution. The ideas of conservatism should be embedded in all the practitioners of politics in PDP and be able to mold this is the power of fatherism. The power of fatherism in politics is to mold people within the ideological context of the political institution that they have built to take power. You use party politics is about taking power of governance. It's not for party merriment. And it is based on ideas, it's based on principles. And that of PDP is based on conservatism. And they should be able to practice their economic ideology, their economic principles, their social principles, their foreign principles or foreign policy should be structured within the conservative principles. And if you come to the APC, even though it's a construct of various ideas, it's based on liberal.
Progressive, they call them.
The APC should be looking at the liberal social order. They should be looking at liberal social sentiments or principles of governance and begin to practice things that are aligned within liberal. There's nothing like progressive. Progressive is not an ideology. Progressive is a movement. Progressive is not an idea. People keep saying I'm progressive. People should go and read properly. Progressive is not a principle political ideology. It's a movement. A progressive, if you say you're progressive, that means that you don't understand politics. You don't understand what you're doing in politics. You are just there because you want to grab power. You want to there to make money. There is two key great principles of politics, ideological framework: conservatism, liberalism. You can go into social conservatism. You can go into liberal social ideology. These two parties are based in these structures. The only problem they have is that those who are practicing the order of politics in these two parties are not willing, are not prepared to bring down their head down and say, let's keep this party within the principles of our framework of formation and allow the citizens, allow the electorate to understand what we stand for, what we believe, what we are here for, so that people can know. If you don't deliver in this area, they know that you don't know what you are doing. If you deliver in this area, they know you are perfect in that area. When we come to this country in the UK, it took Labour Party to develop NHS. It took Labour Party to declare that we are people that are fighting for the social interests of the people. They brought NHS. They brought social security. Today, people are collecting universal credit. It's not by the Labour Party. The Conservatives do not believe in it because the Conservatives are more money-making organization. They empower people to make more money at the expense of the majority. You understand?
Okay, I think this is the. I think
2023 must be able to define if Nigeria is moving away completely from this mafioso father.
Godson, we can't hear you again, but Godson, we can't hear you, but I think it's one of the greatest things you have ever said on this ideology, and that's why people just move from one place to the other without any ideology. I mean, people just switch allegiance from one party to the other. It's been a very sad situation, but what can we do? I mean, I'm not particularly happy that Obaseki contested 4 years ago in one party and then switched over. No ideological content that, I mean, it's a shame on our polity, but what can we do? That's what we have. And so we're not going to see much progress, except Obaseki can say, like Salami, Abdul Salam advised him, can you please do something in the next 4 years? But let's ask Mr. Peter Ogina, please, quickly, so that we can go to another topic. Yes, sir.
All right. Just to quickly say, can you hear me?
Yes, clear, loud and clear.
Just to quickly answer your question before on how do we get, I've forgotten the question, but just to say that it really has to do with the state interference. I don't really believe in the docility of the masses, but just that they've lost this belief in our electoral process, because every time we go to the poll, the state has this manipulative ways of, at the end, you know, giving a mandate to people that they don't want. So because of that, a lot of Nigerians are not really interested. So if we want to really see people that are voted into office really working for the interest of the masses, the first thing we should do, it has to do with leadership, just like as it has happened in Edo State. When state machineries are not used to influence election, people will be interested, and then people voted into power will be afraid of the people. It is the people's power. It is their voice. When their voice is allowed to count, and you are voted in as a governor, whatever position, and you know that at the end of the day, if you don't perform, the people will vote you out, then you will perform. You will be forced to perform. So we thank Buhari, President Buhari, for what he has done this time. If he continues like this, you will see that election in Nigeria will change drastically, because people will now start believing that when they go to the poll, they will get the result they want. I am from Edo State, and I'm really very happy with what has happened in Edo State. And I think that when we are talking about it, it's a new movement, it's a new dawn. If this continues, because
I want to agree with you on the Buhari factor. If APC candidates, especially gubernatorial candidates, recognize the fact that the federal government will not manipulate the results, number one, they will want to campaign seriously. Number two, they will want to perform. But if they know that there is one big federal power that will help them truncate the results, then they will not perform, and they will
not do anything. And then
I think that there is a kudos to Buhari that the federal government did not come to change it like they changed Osun. The Osun one will still be remembered forever. Yes, we're not going to forgive them. Otunba, don't shake your head. We're not forgiving Oyetola. That was a rigged election. But it so happened. Yeah, that was a rigged election. The Kano one, the Gumbi one was a rigged election. I mean, these are where Supreme Court won, didn't it?
I disagree with you, Dr. Johnson, because you know this case eventually got to Supreme Court. Again, I disagree with you. Yes, that this time around, Buhari did not do what Jonathan did in 2014, when all the military were taken to.
Otunba, please don't even talk about Osun. Osun, I'm sorry. Oshun was a clear manipulation.
I'm talking about Honorable Wale. I'm talking about Ekiti. Ekiti went 20,000 2014. Jonathan decided to move all the police and military of the federation to Ekiti to make sure that the only person, the only party that wins is Fayose, and in fact that Fayemi, in fact in his ward, they did not even vote in his ward.
Yeah,
all this kind of thing, you know, and that's why I'm agreeing with Peter that until when we invest on the people, we're not investing. We still jumping that area. We need to invest if we are expecting a reward, a rewarding a good nation. We need to invest in the people. The people need to be.
You are right. You are honestly.
That's good talk.
Let's move forward. Let's move forward. And I would have loved to go to security, but there's something just came to mind. Let's take quickly Oshiomhole. Oshiomhole campaigned against Ize-Iyamu 4 years ago in a very dastardly manner, called him all sorts of names. Whether he was right or not, we did not know. And many people from Oshiomhole's campaign had been looking at Ize-Iyamu as a thief. Not my word, but Oshiomhole. What does that say of we Nigerian leaders? I mean, there are some things that we should be mindful. Language is very important in politics. Nat, I know you want to give us some analysis on security or insecurity, but what will you derive? What do you think we should learn from Oshiomhole's utterances about Ize-Iyamu 4 years ago, and now trying to turn it around? Now, Tinubu is going to learn a hard lesson from it too. But what will you say quickly, just on those utterances? I can give everybody about a minute each on this one. We want our leaders to be sensible and careful, even at campaigns, and not say things that they will regret years later. Nat.
Yeah, I just want to bring in some information on Adams Oshiomhole. You know, his first term, although he got it from the courts, but the PDP sponsored his governorship campaign.
Okay.
The late Yar'Adua, former president, sponsored Adams Oshiomhole's campaign. He gave money. His second coming, Jonathan had to intervene. That to such a point that the first port of call of Adams Oshiomhole was to go to Abuja to thank Jonathan for winning the election. And what the PDP used to do when they were controlling more than 30-something states in those days, they would dash out 1 or 2 states to the opposition. And that's what they were doing. Yeah. And what Buhari did on Saturday, Buhari campaigned for Obaseki because he was angry with Adams Oshiomhole for running out Obaseki from APC. This is what happened. Buhari wanted Obaseki to win wherever he went so that Adams Oshiomhole will be taught a lesson. This is exactly what happened.
Is that the end of Oshiomhole's political life?
Well, time will tell.
Okay.
The issue.
One minute, because I'm mindful of the time. Mr.
Dr. Johnson, let me make a very important point.
Yes, make it, please.
What happened in Edo State, which Obaseki said yesterday, we have non-constitutional players as a danger to democracy in Nigeria. The non-constitutional players in Edo State were Adams Oshiomhole and Tinubu, and the same thing is happening in the cabal in Abuja, the cabal or mafia, whatever you call them. These people are they are not elected people. They don't have any place in the constitution, but they are the one running the government. I think that is the danger we should be addressing.
We are addressing. Okay, Mr. Kaleja, just one minute.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. You mentioned the.
No. I want to ask you a question. Do you think Ambode will be sitting down somewhere and be biting his fingers? I should have gone the way of Obaseki. The PDP invited me. I didn't go. Maybe I should have given it a go. Who knows what will have happened?
No, he would have lost because Ambode did not have any machinery politically. You see, when you talk of Lagos, I'm sorry, I'm going to this way again. You see, Tinubu will pick a non-politician. He will sponsor him from A to Z, and will also prevent you from having your own structure.
Wow.
Same thing happened to Fashola, and same thing happened to Sanwo-Olu. He will pick a complete, in quotes, stranger that has no structure, no political machinery. Now, he will use his own machinery, all emotion, finance, everything. So he's the overall leader. He's like chairman and CEO. You know,
okay. Is it true the rumor I'm hearing that Sanwo-Olu is only going to have one term and then somebody else?
Well, that rumor, I have also heard that there was even an MOU. That's what has been trending. But the fact of the matter is this: Ambode did not have any structure, so he could not have done it. But Obaseki had his own structure. So it was easy for him to move. But the point I want to make precisely is this: we need to put a law in place. You can't leave a political party and jump to be a governor the next minute. No, there must be structural changes. And one is that once you are elected under a party, you serve as either rep or senator or governor, and you leave that position or leave that party, you must vacate that office. That's one. You must vacate that office, and you must not use the resources of the state to campaign. You see, the moment you are campaigning for election, you must be prevented from using state resources.
Yeah.
You see,
and I think that must also be in our constitution for independent candidacy. You see,
yes.
They removed independent candidacy in 1999 because the party leaders were the ones who determined the 1999 constitution.
Yes.
And it's not fair. If you think that all the parties are not good, then come out on your own and see if you will win.
And yes, sure. So we need to remove that position where one look at Ondo State. The deputy governor left from APC, went to PDP. He lost in PDP, went to Z Labour. Come on. It's a mockery of democracy. This is total mockery.
We're going to discuss that next week, definitely. I mean, Ondo State is another thing entirely that we will not have time for today. But Peter, Mr. Ogina, quickly, you want to say something about Oshomole?
Yeah, I wanted to say something about Oshomole, that Oshomole, with the result of the election, is a new dawn in Edo State and the southern part of Nigeria in general. I just want to say we need to be careful. If we want to discuss or even have a shot at the presidency in 2023, we need to start looking for a credible candidate now. The issue of talking about Tinubu and presidency, I think is dead on arrival. We as the masses, we don't want Tinubu. We don't want anything to do with him. If the South says that that's the only person they have, then we should let the North continue with their presidency. We need a new order, a younger person that will come up talking about how he's going to bring changes. It's a movement. Though it's not Lagos, it's a movement against godfatherism. Tinubu, albatross on Tinubu's neck is his audacity to say, I don't want Ambode. Ambode was a performing governor. For one man to stand up and say, I don't want him, and he succeeded because he's holding on to the structure in Lagos, that was an original sin, and that ends Tinubu's aspiration to be president of Nigeria.
Yeah, but Mr. Kalejaye has told us bluntly that Mr. Ambode did not have any leg in at all. Fashola did not have any legs. Sanwo-Olu does not have. They are all using the legs of Tinubu.
The same way this man did not have any leg. I was with this person in 2014, 2016, Ize Yamu. I was one of the major media person with him. I went round with him. But today, after seeing what Obaseki was doing, bringing out his personality, I said, let him do his 8 years. So if the man is good, it's about governance. It's about what are you giving to the people. Obaseki, the other man said, Obaseki had the structures. Obaseki didn't have anything. Even before he came to PDP, a lot of Edo people, whether PDP or not, were ready to go with him because he was doing good. At the end of the day, this is beyond political parties. And when I used to come to Lagos and I hear that Ambode is working, I saw Ambode working. Whether he has structures, whether he had anything, Tinubu has no right. to hold on to the political structure in Lagos and decide who becomes a governor and say, you offended me, you won't do 2/10. We don't want people like that. And I'm saying it point clear that Tinubu should not even dare to say, I want to be the president. That's my honest opinion.
And you know what? In the whole of South-South, excuse me, in the whole of South-South, there is no APC governor as we speak. In the whole of Southeast, there's only one APC governor. So it's like Tinubu is losing face more in the southern part or let's say southeastern part of Nigeria. But then Dr. Akindele has been raising up his hand. Yes, in 1 minute, please.
We shouldn't be talking about Tinubu much. You know, the man has a right to, if he wants to contest, let him go and try it. And if he goes through all the rigmaroles of politics, if he match in the primary, well, so be. But we should not be personalizing too much. We should be looking into how we can get our democracy into, like what you, Dr. Johnson, rightly say, the independent candidacy, things like that. We need to start to make movement about things like that, you know, more than worrying about, you know, because yes, if we don't like Tinubu, if he gets in there if he emerges as a primary candidate for APC, but if we have right to have independent candidacy, then we can, you know, we can gather together and get our own. But unless we do that, you know, these people with their money and with their popularity, with their godfatherism, they will always still going to win. So I think we're spending too much time trying to. We need to do more. You need to do more underwork. You know, there's so many things.
Dr. Akindele, something just struck me a few weeks ago. How did we pass a constitution without independent candidacy? I mean, I think would not believe it. I know we used to have it, but what I would say is that when the constitution was being constructed, the political party leaders came together and said, let us put the younger ones into our subjection. They would not be in a position to
emerge.
Yes,
Dr. Johnson.
It is.
Dr. Johnson. Did you not also?
It's a political entrepreneurship.
It's painful. It's painful that we in America, here in Britain, it's not done.
So those are some of the things I would like for us to be concentrating on. How can we push our lawmaker to change these sort of things? Just like we need the right of vote. We need the right of vote for the Nigerian diaspora. Stuff like that. We need to start pushing more on it. Because otherwise,
we will. Wale, yes, you were saying something.
Yes, I was saying that it's not surprising that to contest as governor, all you need is school start attempts. Meanwhile,
yes, that's true.
School start not even pass.
You don't have to pass
attempts.
Just F9 will get you there.
Attempt. So is that not surprising that we still pass that constitution? Now, to apply for a small job in government, so you want to build a bus stop.
A cleaner.
They will ask for everything. That is so crazy. But you want to elect a man that will hold the treasury for 4 years, and all you need of him is school start attempts. No business skills, no entrepreneurship ideas. You know, so the whole thing is wrong from the beginning.
Yeah.
We need to look at that constitution again. You know, and please, I'd like to say one thing very clearly. We have emphasized too much on this governorship thing. We need to emphasize on governorship, make it less attractive financially.
It's because we have no federal government. No. Wale,
yes.
Let me just be playing
all
with
political
it.
powers.
The federal government is not playing its own role. So so people now hold on to governorship. Governorship like emperors in their states right now.
Exactly. They are just too powerful. And they will spend any amount.
The same way with councillor, the same way with the chairman of the local government. We need, if we make their remuneration very, very less attractive, you know, we don't have money in politics.
Can I say something?
They won't do it.
I've been raising up my hand before you. Don't even try.
Okay,
Dr. Johnson.
Okay, wait a minute. I was saying 1 minute. Okay, Otumba, 1 minute. Gosin, 1 minute,
Yes.
because
I want to ask all of us here today, and those who are watching our program. How many of us? I haven't done anything. But how many of us that are here have gone to submit a memorandum to the constitution we don't like? How many of us? We keep talking and saying this is not good, this is not good. But we, as a people, and also as educated ones, we are not also making enough effort to correct the wrongs of our constitution.
Memorandum.
No, some of us did. And some of us have done that.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear from you. How many of us in diaspora have made efforts to submit memorandum to say, look, we want this in the constitution?
We are still talking about if we have a right to vote, and they say no. So what memorandum? And I know the efforts that we have done right here in Britain
diaspora voting. Yes.
For diaspora voting. I have been to many meetings with Nigerian officials and all the rest. So, but like you know, so I'm not.
Yeah, but people like Gosin, who are representing diaspora, they are the one that doing all our efforts, because as far as they are concerned, they are preparing grant to the governor of their state.
You have a right of vote, a right of reply quickly, Gosin, in 60 seconds.
Quickly, I like to say that I do not agree with a lot of the points made by Dr. Akindele here. I mean, you cannot be supporting an individual who is destroying our politics and depriving people from openly.
I don't think he has done so. I don't think Dr. Akindele has said anything like that.
Sorry.
Let him land. Dr. Akindele is in the forum.
His speeches and comments defends the interests of Tinubu and those in the APC, and we are saying
I don't think so.
And he kind of insinuates like we don't have other people don't have right to criticize their inabilities and their negative constructs. Secondly, I like to say that irrespective of the age or the certification of qualification of participating in elected position in Nigeria, and according to the constitution, it's not a new thing. In this country, you don't need to have any qualification to become a prime minister. You don't need to have a qualification to become a councillor. They don't ask you.
Yes, you don't need it.
Even Coppin when he was leader of the Labour Party, was a dropout from London Metropolitan University. Never completed the school. So there's a lot of, don't let us complicate things to make Nigeria look like we are too. It is minimum to give every Nigerian the right to rule. In this country, you can be a neophyte and be a political leader, but the people that run the nitty-gritty of this government are the people that are qualified to do it. And that's why you find out that when you go to government in this place, the secretary of the local council earns 200 and something thousand pounds annually, while the mayor of the town earns 48,000 pounds. It's record. The mayor of any borough in this country on a 1 year sitting earns about 48,000 pounds annually, including sitting allowance. But the executive secretary of the council, who is the administrator of the council, earns about 250 something thousand pounds, 3 times or 4 times more than the mayor. Not to talk of the councillors. Councillors in this country earn nothing less than 10,000 pounds annually. That is their basic salary, 10,000 pounds annually. So we should not be looking at qualification. Qualification is about being the political mind to run.
No, I don't agree with you.
Politics
I don't agree with you at all.
Politics is about service. It's about service. It's not about professional qualification to come and work. It's about service. You serve the period you have to serve according to your capacity and capability. And those who have the professionalism to run the system of the government.
Nigeria,
no, I don't agree with you at all.
Nigeria,
you can't compare Nigeria to Britain.
Please. Maybe next week, I will implore everyone to return to this program next week, because it's going to be, we'll be discussing Nigeria at 60. And we want as many views as to push Nigeria forward, have to move it, and this will come up. Right now, I want to use my position to ask Nat to tell us insecurity in Nigeria. The insecurity in Nigeria in the last 1 week is no use going to 10 months away. Now, insecurity in Nigeria has gone very, very pear-shaped. Even in the last 1 week, it appears that we are just not getting it. Please, Nat, update our viewers and our listeners. What has happened to us? What states have been taking over, whether we liked it or not?
Well, the Northeast geopolitical zone is granted, especially Borno State. The 10 local governments in North Borno State are still under Boko Haram.
And they are taking taxes from our people.
They are the administrators. And then Boko Haram killed Colonel Dahiru Bako, a colonel in the Nigerian army. He was buried yesterday. He was killed by Boko Haram. And so if Boko Haram can kill military people, kill policemen, kill DSS, kill road safety, so who is safe in Nigeria? The Southern Kaduna killings is ongoing. Nasarawa State killings ongoing. Benue State killings ongoing. Not to talk of Zamfara, Katsina. The killings are ongoing. And Buhari was in Kaduna yesterday or so, and he was talking of they should live as I don't know the appropriate word, like what he said in Benue State. The people should live together peacefully. Harmoniously. I mean, what kind of statement is that?
When bandits are coming to kill people.
Yeah, it is just coming from a clueless man or a sleeping man or somebody who is not even there. Okay. That is the situation of the security.
Thank you for that update. May I have responses from our panelists, and then I go to those who want to contribute. Otumba, you want to start? It appears the federal government is doing little or nothing. I mean, it's not fair on the people. People are not sure whether they will live for tomorrow. What do you say?
I will reluctantly not disagree. I will not disagree with that because when you look at
reluctantly not disagree. Otumba, that's too far. I'm trying to think it out. Where your position? You will reluctantly not disagree. Okay, go on. Okay, go on.
Yeah, because when you look at the situation on the ground, truly and honestly, large number of people are completely dissatisfied with governance and their various states and also in the federal area. And that's why I think this constitutional amendment or changes that is taking place should be properly should address all these gray areas where governments are just taking advantage.
I have a question for you. Well, is it that our system, our military system is weak, or we don't have ammunition that we cannot obliterate all these we see in the forest? I mean, somebody sent me a video and said, Shegun, look, these people could be obliterated with one chopper. Is it that we don't have the willingness or the ability? Which one? Is it the willingness or the ability? Which one?
It will be very wrong of me to say all of us. But I think it's also the right of me to say 96 or 98% of governance structure is based on dishonesty, on corruption, and so on and so forth. We all know that. Because if somebody observed that killing of Boko Haram all this number of years, especially the billions of dollars, not even naira now talking about, it's still not enough to demolish, to destroy all the cells of Boko Haram in Nigeria. I will agree and say, well, it is all because of corruption. It was because we did not dedicate, we did not agree to dedicate our good governance to everybody. Everything is corrupt.
Information, sir.
And as long as we have corrupt.
Okay. Information, sir. I have. Sorry, sir. Can I please come in? Because this is a matter that concerns all of us. I have businesses and concerns in Nigeria as per security. Now, can I ask one question? A dual election that was just concluded, we deployed 31,000 policemen to Edo State and deployed Air Force, deployed Army, DSS, SSS, NCDC,
all of them.
And I mean, if you aggregate the number of security men we had for a dual election, you will have at least 50,000 armed men around Edo State. Which effort, tell me, has government ever deployed 50,000 armed men to any state when there's violence? Now, can you please tell me, why has the government not taken the same seriousness we take to election, to banditry and these kidnappings and killings? Please,
thank you,
what will it take?
That's where exactly I'm coming from, Honorable
yes. This is corruption. You see, I'm coming to that. You see, why people like us are so despair about this is that, one, we have resources. If we say, you know what, this month we are going to focus on Katsina, deploy 3 or 4 fighter jets and 100,000 armed men, police, army, navy, NCDC, and say, you know what, let's go and quash everything happening here. We can do it. In fact, in 6 months to a year, we will obliterate all this nonsense. But it does appear, like you have said, Otumba, we are just paying lip service to this insecurity. Service chiefs are not performing, yet we leave them in the office. Their terms have expired, we leave them. They are very old, their terms have expired, and yet we don't want to change them. What does that mean? It means they are performing. If you are not performing and you are actually not delivering what you should deliver, you should be fired.
Yeah.
You know? And also, quickly, I'm sorry, and also we should not forget, there are more deadly, there are more deadly institutions and organizations in Nigeria. Look at NDCC. Well, the amount of money that they are siphoning, the amount of, is even more criminal than Boko Haram.
Of course.
Okay, all right. Godson, what do you have to say?
Well, in as much as I want to agree with Wale, I think the whole situation is being taken apolitical. There's a lot of politics behind the insecurity of situation in Nigeria. And many of us may want to say we forgot, but then we have to be reminded that the whole Boko Haram issue started as a political thuggery, political mob, and then it ended, and people were not settled, people were not confirmed into some good positions, and then it all went splitted into what we have to see today, Boko Haram, in one form or the other. The truth here is that, like Wale said, it will take Nigeria just one day. 6 months is too much. One day alone, one day, to deploy the number of people they took to Benin, to deploy, if they really want, deploy the people they sent to Benin, to Zamfara, or to
Nasarawa and all these places,
or to Nasarawa, or to Borno, to quench. If you send 50,000 people to fight 1,000, I don't think 1,000 will subdue 50,000, because this Boko Haram and these headsmen or whatever they call them, banditry, in calculation, they are not more than 1,000 or 1,500. The way they come out, they are not more than.
Okay, Godson, I have a question for you. A quick question for you. Wait, Godson, answer this question. Are you trying to say that the federal government has no willingness to stop them? They have considered the Nigerian entity, part of Nigerian entity, to them. Is that what you are saying?
Doc, like somebody said here today, somebody said that there are some, I think it's not, there are some people that are running Nigeria, unconstitutionally minded people that are running Nigeria. The people that have no right to run Nigeria are the people that are orchestrating this insecurity in the country to remain relevant in the society. Either it be during Jonathan's government, either it be during Yaradua's government, either it be during Obasanjo government, or even this government today. People that has no constitutional right to determine the fate of this country are the people making everything uneasy for Nigerians to move forward. They are the people in the corridors of power.
Why are the elected people, the system? Why do the elected people allow them? Why are they allowing them?
Because they are the people feeding the elected government. They are the people. They are the ones that made the elected person to be in seat. If today Buhari wants, if Buhari has to be removed today, There are few people who will come out publicly and say who is Buhari now, and Nigeria will scatter. Buhari himself will be running eta scatter. They are not elected, they are not appointed, they are somewhere. But the truth here is that to quench insecurity, we need a leader with a strong political will, not the one that goes and begin to speak like somebody who just finished eating.
But listen, Buhari and every government official agree on the day of the oath swearing that they will defend the integrity of Nigeria inch by inch. But that has not happened. We have many.
Doc,
yes.
These people swear to Nigerian oath and then they go and swear to another oath that cancels the Nigerian oath and remain in power. There are greater oath than the oath of swearing in. So oath of swearing in is what oath of swearing in. Oath of swearing in is from us.
Obasanjo is from us. Yadva is from us.
Otoba, hold on. Otoba, hold on. The oath of swearing in of governance is public show and video. These people go and swear another oath that is greater and powerful than the oath they swear to Nigerians. So that is why they misbehave and react and act the way they act, because they act with impunity. Anybody that acts with impunity in the face of people is telling you that there is nothing you can do because there is a greater power that is handling the situation more than you ordinary people in the streets. So
I disagree with that. If you know you are dealing with gullible, very vulnerable people who are very stupid, they make them so stupid like. So you don't need to go to another power. You just need to do what you want to do because you have the money to give them to buy their votes and so on and so forth.
Otuba, was it not in your presence that imprisoned?
In this country, it took the British government. It took the British government some few days to deploy soldiers and whatever to IRA against IRA to ensure that they quench IRA. You look at what is happening in America when there is serious mayhem in a particular state in America. It took Donald Trump just one statement to deploy central and federal force to that place. And within 1 day of the force landing, everybody finds their way of dissolving the whole matter. You need to show force. As you don't answer Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces as a title, like many people answer chief in Nigeria, chief this. Even I'm sorry to say, October is October. I don't think October has been. I don't think October has been to the place.
No, Azu don't go that way.
Yeah, people answer chief and October. They've not been to the village.
He's dealing with a greater power.
They've not been to the village where they gave them the title. They answer chief. We have a commander-in-chief of the armed forces that cannot rally around his military and his troops to go and fight a small war. This is a small war.
Okay, I'm rounding up the program now. Azu, thank you very much. I want to give Dr. Akindele and Peter 1 minute each. I want to use that one to thank them for coming on, and we're expecting them to participate in our Nigeria at 60 next Wednesday. Yes, Dr. Akindele, 1 minute. We were rounding up now.
Yeah, thank you guys for giving me an opportunity. Yeah, let's just try to come up with different solutions to what we can do to move our country forward. We need to rescue ourselves from these money bags. But the way to do it for me is to go different ways. You know, if we try to compete with them, money for money, popularity for popularity, we'll lose. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your summary. Peter, you want to advise us again, the nation, or you want to congratulate Edo State people, whatever? 1 minute. Peter, we can't hear you.
Yes, you're muting himself.
Peter has gone to Edo State.
No. Sorry about that. My own is just to say that the congratulation is ongoing, and the governor is going around thanking people, so that's going. But I just want everybody to buy into this idea that we need a new order, a new change. Whosoever that person is, we should emphasize this issue of emotion, of tribe, personality, and look at, okay, what is good for the country? What is good for the country now?
One quick question. Your suggestion is good, but without money, can this new quick order come? This new order, can it come? Because the PDP was supported with a lot of money. Can the new parties,
that's why I think you might be correct, but a little bit wrong. If you look at the event that led up to the day of the election,
yes,
the people were allowed to say, this is what we want.
But the people collected money. They collected trader money. They collected that.
No. If you say it like that, APC would have won the election, because the amount of money APC brought.
PDP brought money.
Yeah, PDP brought money, but APC brought more. But there was one agreement that if APC bring money, we will take it and we will vote for Obaseki. That's what I'm always saying, is that for the interest of the country, we should begin to say leadership is what we want, and what is good is good, what is bad is bad. If we
That's
see what is bad, let us say.
I agree with you. Mr. Kalejaye, you want to have your 1 minute?
Yes, thank you very much, Doctor. Well, I agree with you. We need a new order. And how do we start that? Is, first of all, we need to demand, and I mean demand, our franchise. You see, when people are campaigning, there's no campaign. They just come and dance, share rice, share pure water.
No discussion of 4 years, economic development. I agree with you.
None. You see, so we need to demand policies and plan from each party. Yes, you see, manifesto. For instance, we, as a government, we plan based on hope. It's only a foolish man that will plan based on hope. You plan based on hard work and projection and strategic planning. You see?
All right.
We need to plan.
I'm inviting you for next week. Otumba, you want to, just 10 seconds for you.
Yeah, well, thank you. I want to agree with all the suggestions made so far. But one observation I quickly want to make is about Honorable Peter talking about if anybody like Tinubu want to run for presidency 2023. I think, like also another contributor said, yeah, everybody's entitled to run for whatever office they want.
Okay.
Once they have attempted but I want to use this opportunity to think any Northerner should not come 2023 to be president of Nigeria.
As Otuba said, no, not 10 seconds.
Well, we will continue to demand for accountability and transparency in the conduct of public affairs in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. That's how far we can go today. It's been You Decide. I want to thank my panelists, Nat Yako, Otuba Bode Husseini, and Godson Azu, and of course, contributors, Mr. Kalejaye, Dr. Akindele, Peter Okina, and many people watching that we could not go. Next Wednesday, we're going to discuss Nigeria at 60. My name is Shegun Johnson. The program you've been watching is You Decide, and it's on the best television in Europe, BENTV. God bless you.
Please, I'll be mentioning